What is up, Trev? SmashweRx, bringing you all the good stuff for free, real hacks, real results. You know how it works. So today, I did a workout today with this one right here, and it was horrible. And I actually tweaked my hamstring a little bit, so it's bugging me, and it's because, well, I'll tell you in a second. Hamstring injuries usually happen in one of two places. They either happen right up inside here where the ischial tuberosity is, or they happen down here. None of it has to do with an actual hamstring problem. It's usually a glute issue. And when I say usually, almost all the time. So I'm going to show you how to fix the hamstring because mine hurts, so therefore all of yours hurt. It's not so much a hamstring problem as it is a firing order problem. The hamstring, its primary role is to flex the knee. Its secondary role is to extend the hip, and it's a really small role. What ends up happening is your glutes aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing, not usually because they're weak, but because they're not engaging. What's going on is they start off strong, and you just recruit these instead to do hip extension. Now these become weak. Your brain doesn't know how to get these to work anymore because now the firing order is hamstrings first, glutes second, when it needs to be the other way around. It needs to be glutes first, hamstrings second. So what she's gonna do is she's gonna come up in a glute bridge, and I want you to see the right way. This is the right way. She's totally straight, her elbows are supporting her, and then she's gonna come back down, lightly touch her glute, and then she's gonna come on back up, and then she's gonna go all the way back down. Now I want you to see the wrong way. This is how a lot of people do this. What she's gonna do is she's gonna have what's called a muted pelvis. So she's gonna come up, and she's gonna stay in this, drop your butt a little bit there. It's almost hard for her to do. So this is not a glute bridge. Her butt's off the ground, but you see how there's still this sway in here? All you're doing is retraining your brain to have a really bad position. She's gonna take the ball and she's gonna put it in the inguinal crease. She's gonna trap it by forcing one side into maximum hip flexion. So that's gonna fire the hip flexors. It's gonna shut off the glute on that side completely. So it isolates this side, it isolates the working side, you get more out of it, and you don't try and recruit because you can't. It's called reciprocal inhibition. So she's gonna take this, she's gonna put it in here. She's gonna squeeze that, so you can see the ball is right here, and then she's gonna lift up in the same glute bridge. It's a lot harder, I'm gonna tell you that right now. Come over here. All right, so she's gonna drop down. She's got the ball in there, so you can see where she is. She's trapping the ball in her inguinal crease, holding it, turns off the glute on this side, so it can't recruit, you can't cheat the movement, and she's only gonna fire this side. She's gonna come up and do a glute bridge, totally flat, and then she's gonna go back down. She's gonna come all the way back up. She's gonna go back down. She's gonna do this 1,000 more times, and we're gonna go have some dinner. All right, so what we're doing now is called a curtsy lunge. What this is gonna do is isolate the entire glute complex, but you're gonna get a lot more of that glute need, but it's forcing stability. All we're doing right now is retraining the brain. So we're not using tons and tons of sets and reps. We're just getting the glutes to fire. That's the most important part. If you can only go part way, that's fine. Do not force these movements. If you can't do them, just do them to your capacity. This is what the curtsy lunge looks like. Good, and then back up. She's driving with this side like crazy, and I promise you, when you hit the ground, first of all, by the way, don't smash your knee into the ground. Just step, control, come all the way back. She's gonna do one more. So you come all the way across, keep your knees straight, try and keep your pelvis as straight as possible. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna actively push your feet together. You're driving into the ground with your feet. This is gonna be a weird one because it's gonna feel a little odd. It's gonna be harder than you think. It's gonna hit a lot of glute meat. So she's gonna raise up, same thing in that glute position, nice and flat, go on back down. You're gonna notice you can't go up nearly as high because you're not designed to bend this way, but it's super effective. She's gonna go up again. When you come down in all the bridges, what I want you to do is remember you're lightly touching your glutes to the floor. You're not slamming into the floor, turning everything off. You're maintaining a little bit of tension. Number 5 is a fun one, ninja kick. This one is the ninja kick. And the reason this one's so effective is because, well, you'll see. So she's in a side plank position. So you're gonna get in a side plank position. She's using that lower leg as the pivot point. She's gonna come up, make a nice straight line. And then the only leg that's doing all the work is this one, is she's gonna keep her toe pointed that way. And she's gonna keep this as straight as possible. And this entire area here, I'll tell you right now, is on fire. She'll tell you that for sure. And then you're gonna come back down. So you're kind of working both sides of the hip. You're getting a lot more active work here versus static work here. She's gonna allow herself to go back into that hip hinge, and then she's gonna squeeze her butt and slowly drive herself up. So now we're gonna do this at tempo instead. So what she does is she comes back, 4 seconds, full hip hinge, and then all the way out, full hip extension, squeezing at the top. And then she's gonna come back. 4 seconds back, 4 seconds all the way up. She's gonna go 4 seconds into the hinge, And then she's gonna go 4 seconds out of the hinge into a full hip extension. So you can see what she's doing is a tempo. It gives you a lot more glute control. So listen, if you're pulling your hamstrings, blowing your hamstrings, having issues with your hamstrings, it's not because they're short, it's not because they're tight, it's because they're doing the work that they're not supposed to be doing. Hey, listen, I'm Trev, SmashweRx. If you like this video, man, hit the like button, tell all your friends, share it, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and that's it. I'm gonna go eat, I'm hungry. I'll check you guys out later. Peace.